Right, another quick update for you all. I've had the One X now for over a month, I'd say. I've got to grips with the foibles and quirks. I downloaded the new firmware 1.29, I think it was yesterday morning, possibly the morning before. I disconnected it from the mains charger this morning at 8:30 exactly. Did that specifically because I wanted to check the battery usage. Now, I've not really been on it much today at all. So let's see if we can look at that. So hopefully you can see that. It says 10 hours, 51 minutes, 20 seconds on battery. And it's at 28%. And hopefully, don't know if you can see that, but the pulsing flickering is still there that you get with this phone. Now, one of the things in this firmware update that they've said, which I find a bit dubious, I've got it here, I'll put a link to this sort of the change log of what they say that's happened with this 1.29 update. Now listen to this. A German site, androidhilfe.de, is claiming that any screen flickering should resolve itself within 2 weeks of using this update. Apparently some voltage values were changed in this update. They report you're able to speed up this process by manually setting the brightness to 100%. That sounds a bit rubbish to me, to be honest. So I have had the brightness on 100% since the update, and it's still flickering away quite merrily. When you first load a specific app, like the Facebook one, it goes blue initially. And I don't think you'll be able to pick that up, but it's flickering, it's pulsing. Now, it hasn't eased off the flickering at all since this update, and I think if a software update is going to fix something, it'll fix it straight away, so that's a little bit dubious in my opinion. But fair play to HTC, they keep sending out these updates. There's been a lot, there's been at least 3 since I've had it, so they are addressing the issues, but the camera one's still there. Sat-nav's still a bit ropey, although I found out you don't have to have it auto-dimming. You can actually switch that off, so that's my fault for being stupid. But it still doesn't seem to keep a lock as good as my old Samsung did. So anyone who's left a comment under the previous video, I am going to try and get back to you. Unless it's something like, you're wrong, HTC and the best phones in the world, you're a Samsung fanboy. Anything like that I'm just going to ignore, because it's not constructive and I can't be asked getting back to you on that. But anyone who's asked me specific things, I am going to get time to go through them, plod through them. One thing I want to show you now, my girlfriend's just bought a Samsung Galaxy S2 and I love it and I want it back and it's brilliant. But there's something, and this isn't so much HTC's fault, this is more Ice Cream Sandwich. They've implemented, well, it's a bit of both actually. There's a triple dot button, which you might be aware of, that replaces where the menu button would be. So any phone that's got a predefined menu button, you're okay. But if you don't have a menu button, like on the HTC One X, you have that little button that lets you flick up and cancel programs, which is, in my opinion, a waste of time, because by the time you've gone through all the programs you want to close, so it's this soft key at the bottom here, it lists them all, and it takes you about an hour to shut them all off. Oh, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. So that, to me, is a waste of a button. It's something that really annoys me. It's quite naff, to be honest. I like the actual Ice Cream Sandwich where they list and you can flick them off left and right, it's much quicker. But on apps that aren't Ice Cream Sandwich friendly, ready, what HTC have done is they've decided to make this little bar appear at the bottom with 3 dots on it. Now in my initial video I said I didn't like the keyboard because it kept jumping down, and I know why it is now. It's because of these 3 dots. So if you're unaware of this, I'm going to show you it now on the 2 phones, the S2 and this next week. We're going to message each other and show you the difference, because I keep catching this triple button. Now I'm sure they're going to fix the apps as they evolve. The developers are going to build in this triple dot button at the top instead of along this bottom. But I think it's HTC, I'm pretty sure with the way they've written the one, they've put this menu option at the bottom. And you've got to have it, you have to have this menu option. So if it doesn't detect that there's a menu option in the app, it just puts this bar on the bottom, and it is driving me up the wall. But I'll show you what I mean now. So here we go. We've got my One X and the girlfriend's beautiful Galaxy S2. Anyway, right, so if we fire that on, and yes, we know what the weather's like because we can look out of the window, and then we open this one. Now my girlfriend has a picture of me eating a cake with a teaspoon, which is very manly, isn't it? Right, so if I go into WhatsApp Messenger, now she has a screen very dim. That's her own choice. She doesn't like bright screens. Now, if you can see along the bottom here, there's like a bar with 3 dots on it. But at the bottom of this one, this is the standard Samsung keyboard. She doesn't use that. I know it's rubbish. But you have a menu. So you can do all this stuff. But there's no menu button on here. You've got this bar. So,
what tends to happen, and it took me ages to work out this because I'm not very observant really when it comes to these things. So if I type in like hello from above, if I catch that menu button, now I am exaggerating it now, I know I'm above the keyboard and stuff, but when you're holding it in your thumb like this, right, this is really hard to do through this screen, but I'm not going to, so hello on the rubbish Samsung keyboard, admittedly it is rubbish, hello on this one, yeah, so mine's a bigger screen, keys are spaced out better, but I tend to find when I'm walking and typing, I go to press space, and yeah, I'm doing it again now, but it's sod's law, but you do catch that bar, trust me, you catch it all the time. There's no bar at the bottom here because you've got the menu option, but this triple dot here, you catch it a lot. Now, let's just put it in my right hand, because I often write, I have the phone in my right hand quite a lot. Whoop, come back. So, hello, hello. How the heck are you? And I'm not catching it at all at the minute, but I expected not to, because that's live television for you, isn't it? But and it happens on pretty much every app. Helly, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, this bar at the bottom, you will find, trust me, well, I know I do, as I'm writing, I'll catch that. Now, I exaggerated it then, I'm not saying, you know, you can avoid it, and my thumbs aren't particularly huge, but I do find myself, I've written hello a lot there. Yeah, I'm not going to exaggerate, I'm just going to type as I would do. This is a test. So yeah, I mean, I am above it, and I'm sort of quite nice and poised, ready to type with my thumb, but as I'm walking down the street and I'm bashing away at keys, I catch that a lot. And what's happening, YouTube's a good app to show you actually. As developers are getting used to it, they're moving the menu button up there, which is great, you know, because then you can just press it from up there and do the menu stuff, and it isn't at the bottom. Not that there's a keyboard on the YouTube app, well there is actually a keyboard on it, you need to obviously type. So yeah, there's no, and you get these cursor buttons, which are quite handy. But again, on the GS2, or anything that's got a menu button, doesn't have to be this particular phone, I've got nothing to show you, because it's exactly the same, because there's a menu button. But anyway, I think you get the point. I hope you get the point anyway, because those three dots are driving me mad. And last but not least, I just want to say thanks to all the support I've had so far. About 115 subscribers. We're obviously interested in practical day-to-day use of flagship devices like the HTC One X, and it's now 2 weeks until the GS3 arrives, so I will be doing lots of reviews of that. I haven't been about recently, but I haven't had a lot to tell you, to be honest. But that little 3-dot thing I picked up, and the firmware, doesn't seem to be affecting the battery, the flickering or the camera lag. But again, props to HTC for getting lots of updates out and trying to deal with things and patch things pretty quickly. You know, you can't fault them for that. Again, great piece of hardware, just doesn't cut it for me. And that's all I want to get across the whole time. And if you're going to make a decision, I'm going to get this HTC One against this GS3 and give my honest opinion of it as soon as it appears. And that'll be on the 30th of this month, so keep your eye out for that. And again, thanks for the support, thanks for subscribing, and again, I'll try and get to respond to all these comments you've been leaving, because a lot of you have been leaving lots of comments about various different things. If you just put something like, you know, HTC are miles better than Samsung, that's, yeah, great, I'm just not going to respond to that. It's your opinion, it's my opinion, I'm just saying. I do own the phone, it's not like I'm just making one of these, you know, I find that I have people that sort of say things like, oh, you know, you're wrong, and whatnot, don't actually own the phone. I own it, I'm trying to like it. But, like I say, anyway, I'm repeating myself again now, I'm like a stuck record. So, thanks for watching, and see you soon. If I don't see you before 2 weeks' time, I'll see you when I get the Galaxy. Right, thanks for that, bye.